Hey everybody, Sean here, and welcome to Revealing Truth. And special thanks to Mark Scott for sharing this. The video we're looking at today is with Landon Schott, and let's just say he's no fan of Julie Royce.
Julie Royce, you're in sin. You sow seeds of discord in the body of Christ. Pastors from all over the country have seen it. They're messaging me, they're commenting me. You come against conservative churches. You have act like you're a watchdog and you're acting like a wolf. You're sowing seeds of discord. Your ministry is not a ministry. You tear down churches constantly. And yes, at times you do expose people that need to be exposed. You do that. But you're looking to take people down rather than finding the truth.
But just who is Landon Schott? He's the pastor at Mercy Culture Church in Fort Worth, Texas. And apparently, he's a prophet of sorts. And although I didn't see any videos of him on the Sid Roth show, he was on Daystar in the past. So let's listen to this video in full, and then we'll comment.
And I'm talking to this is not just a people's opinion. I'm telling you, we are in a season of what the Lord spoke to me and said, we are in a season of the accuser of the brethren. I want to warn every single pastor friend that I have in this place. We are walking into a place where there's been a demonic spirit that's been loosed in our nation. And this demonic spirit is called the accuser of the brethren. I was doing a podcast a couple months ago with some of our pastors, and they're sharing their testimony of living in sin and immorality and how God has used them and restored them. And I'm sitting there in this podcast filming. It comes out in a few weeks, and I'm interviewing them. And as I'm interviewing, I hear in my spirit, you're entering a season of the accuser of the brethren. And instantly I'm thinking of the book of Revelation, that the accuser of the brethren stands before God and accuses day and night. Instantly then I start thinking about Matthew chapter 13. And in Matthew chapter 13 is the story of the parable of the seeds, where the enemy comes in to sow the wheats in the tares. And as he sows the wheats and the tares, the strategy was to wipe out the wheat with the tares. And I'm sitting doing this podcast, and I hear the Lord say, you're entering a season of the accuser of the brethren. And I saw a strategy of the enemy coming in to take out the righteous with the unrighteous. See, we're in a season right now where there's been an exposing of men in the body of Christ. And hear me right, those things need to be exposed. But what the accuser of the brethren is doing is trying to take out the righteous with the unrighteous. The world calls it cancel culture. And cancel culture is when the church partners with cancel culture, it becomes the accuser of the brethren. James 2:13 says this, that mercy triumphs over judgment. And we're in a season we're going to have to learn and have a true revelation of what the mercy of God is. But I got good news for you, that Jesus has been praying for you. We've been singing it for a year, even before we would enter a season of the accuser of the brethren. We sang it tonight, Simon, Simon, Satan has come to sift you as wheat. But don't worry, Peter, I'm praying for you. And I want to let you know, every pastor and leader in this room, that you have a high priest. You have an intercessor who's praying for you. He's covering your life. He's covering your family. He's covering your ministry. And you just need to hide yourself in the shadow of his wings. I released this word to our church the first Sunday of January. It wasn't a week later that a national article trying to assassinate my character comes out. I was like, woo, we were waiting for you. It's called the Jezebel Report. Oh, no, this is what the Spirit will do. It will try to intimidate you so that you back down and don't call what a Jezebel really is. This is the Jezebel spirit if I've ever seen a Jezebel spirit before. And you could hide behind PhDs. You could hide behind polls. You could hide behind reporters. You could hide behind whatever you want. But at the end of the day, it's a spirit. And our battle is not against flesh and blood. We're not battling against people. We're battling against dark forces. And I want to let you know that we are in a spiritual battle. Pastors, I am warning you tonight. The accuser of the brethren is not just coming to Mercy Culture. It's not just coming to Dr. Michael Brown. But it's coming to presence-driven churches all over America that will stand for truth in this hour. I just wanted to publicly honor one of our apostolic elders, Dr. Michael Brown. This has been an assassination on his reputation. This man I got to meet over 10 years ago, who when no one knew me, I was a nobody, just a traveling preacher wandering, who's been rejected by his family, had no spiritual fathers, had nowhere to go. He had loved me. He has sown into me. He has fathered me. I've watched him weep behind closed doors over people that are struggling in same-sex attraction, over Muslims, over lost people. I've watched him stand for truth. I've watched him. He has made me be a better man, a better Christian, a better husband, a better father. I have seen him behind closed doors, and that's why I said enough is enough of this gossip and slander, because the accuser of the brethren is going after men of God that have given their lives to build the kingdom. Someone say, not on my watch. Dr. Brown, we honor you, we celebrate you, and this presence-driven church and community of pastors is behind you.
So first off, I don't believe God told him that we're in the season of the accuser of the brethren. Secondly, Satan is the accuser of the brethren, and he's not trying to take out the unrighteous.
But what the accuser of the brethren is doing is trying to take out the righteous with the unrighteous.
And no discernment channel is trying to take out the righteous. Thirdly, he quotes James 2:13.
James 2:13 says this, that mercy triumphs over judgment.
But this has nothing to do with calling out false teachers, false apostles, and false prophets that are leading people astray. The fourth thing is that he's not standing for truth in this hour if he's giving such accolades to Apostolic Elder Michael Brown.
Pastors, I am warning you tonight, the accuser of the brethren is not just coming to Mercy Culture. It's not just coming to Dr. Michael Brown, but it's coming to presence-driven churches all over America that will stand for truth in this hour. I just wanted to publicly honor one of our apostolic elders, Dr. Michael Brown.
And the final point is that it isn't gossip and slander going on about Michael Brown.
And that's why I said enough is enough of this gossip and slander, because the accuser of the brethren is going after men of God that have given their lives to build the kingdom. Someone say, not on my watch.
And Apostle Michael Brown gets a standing ovation. This is the Michael Brown that agrees with the demon slayers and that Christians can have demons in them that need to be cast out. He supported Alexander Pagani, Vlad Savchuk, and even defended Torben Sondergaard, as well as teaching the same unbiblical nonsense. And although he doesn't call himself an apostle, he didn't deny it when interviewed by other false apostle Che On. Not to mention, he endorses heretics like Kevin Zadai, teaches that false prophecy is okay. And for such a seemingly well-studied man, he actually said that when Jesus said, I never knew you in Matthew 7, it meant these people were excommunicated.
So it could be people that work miracles and fell away and backslid, and which Jesus says to them, I never knew you, meaning away from me. A Jewish formula of excommunication. So those words did carry that meaning in that context in first century Jewish thought. Or it could be referring to counterfeit miracle workers, corrupt preachers, things like that, who were just in it for greedy gain, and who maybe God worked miracles through the word in spite of it.
So to him, one possibility is it's a Christian that backslid and apparently lost their salvation, or that it's that they were excommunicated. Jesus saying he never knew them means that they were never born again and that they were only Christian in name only, not that they lost their salvation or were excommunicated. So as for Landon Schott, if he's defending someone like Michael Brown, at the very least, we have to say there's some real concerns. Anyhow, we're going to leave it here for today, but feel free to leave your comments below, and until next time, take care and God bless.